Hello, 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 and welcome. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to this week's weekly weather, astrological forecast, and horoscopes. My name is Jennifer Barish, and I will be your cosmic guide for the week, letting you know what's happening up in the stars and what the planets are doing and how that energy can impact you, and hopefully a few tips to help you along your way. So this is the weather for the week of October 10th through 16th, 2024. We just got finished with a crazy eclipse season. We got through them. So if you made it through eclipses, give yourself a hand. You did it. I'm so proud of you. And now we are off and running. We have had Jupiter go into retrograde, so he's just getting started. I say he, it can also be she. Just getting started, that reflection or reflectionary period where we look at our schedules and look at excesses in our life and maybe where things have grown just a little bit too big and we need to get them back down into something more manageable. Maybe even just expectations of ourselves, of other people. So when Jupiter's in retrograde, we are bringing that down to size. But so this week we have another planet coming out of retrograde, going direct, and that is Pluto. And maybe you've seen online, you've heard about Pluto retrograde, Pluto direct. What does all of this mean? Well, so Pluto collectively out in our world really are these big shifts that we see happening in the news. Not so much the weather. I think our weather might have something to do with Neptune. We've had two hurricanes now and just got through the big one here, Milton, in Florida, and prayers go out to anybody who's watching this from that area or watching this later. I hope that you fared through that storm okay. It was a really scary time here in Ohio. We're watching the news and just in disbelief. We have family in Florida, and you know, it is so scary to think about what our weather patterns are doing. So, but Pluto has to do right now, being in Capricorn, more with our financial markets, more with big business, big government, that word patriarchy. We've noticed since 2008 that some of those institutions have failed. Some of them have been restructured. Some of them have had to change, just like we see our government changing. We see our politics changing. We see just think about the big business, the way that things used to be done, how really since COVID things have shifted and become quite different. So, but this impacts us on a personal level too. So Pluto has been in in Capricorn since 2008. So I want you to reflect back on your life since 2008 and think about the ways that you handle power and leadership and taking responsibility of things and how it has transformed you. And some of this is just maturity, right? But the planets do help. You know, in what ways have you grown more disciplined, that you have dug in and gotten, you know, more structured? Maybe you've had to, maybe you've had a family, you know, you have to do more straight and narrow things than maybe what you'd like to. But Capricorn energy asks us to dig deep. It asks us to go and find the last reserves that we have. So think about Capricorn being a winter sign. So when the sun's in Capricorn, that's right after the holidays. You know, it's the end of December into the first part of January, kind of the hard part of winter. Think about the steadiness or the sturdiness of the mountain goat, how they can live on nothing on a mountainside. That's a Capricorn energy. They are hardy. When you see a person who has a lot of Cap in their chart, this is a person who will survive. They can make it. They can make it on nothing. They can do with very little resources. They can make it through the winter of life. So maybe since 2008, you have felt some of that winter of life type of stuff happening for you. And maybe you've had to take some of those lemons and turn them into lemonade. So I just want you to reflect back 2008, 2009, and how your relationship, how you have transformed yourself and your relationship with power, your relationship with even business, your career, how you have built it, how you have strategically made moves to improve your station in life, because that mountain goat's always climbing, right? Climbing to the top of the mountain. So those are some themes that come with the Pluto shift. So what happened in the last couple of years, these planets, when they start to move signs, they go to the new sign and then they go retrograde and they back up, and then they go to the new sign and then retrograde. So that's this little dance that can go on for 2 or 3 years, where they'll go into the sign for 6 months and then back out for a few months. Well, that's what's happening here. So let's see, this is 2024. I want you to think back to last spring in 2023. We had a taste of Pluto in Aquarius, and that was kind of, we were really coming out of COVID and starting to kind of come out of our shell. And I know that my small business was growing. I'm also a yoga teacher, and people were starting to come out and practice yoga and really not afraid anymore, right? And willing to gather in group spaces. And so we were feeling really good. And then in June, all of a sudden in 2023, we shifted back into Pluto and Capricorn. And I think there was another wave of illness. And then all of a sudden, they went away. Nobody came to yoga for a while. And it was very interesting, that shift. I could feel it. I could see it just in people around me. And so that same type of shift has just happened to us. We've been in, Pluto has moved on to the next sign in Aquarius here the first part of the year. And that was feeling real good. It feels like we're moving into the future. Now, very different energy. Now, they're both ruled by Saturn. So there is kind of a depression or a structure or kind of a rule or governance of things that both of the signs carry, but just very different from Capricorn. Not so much of a survivalist, but in Aquarius, we're figuring things out. We're depending on each other. We are each other's resources. We're looking at what are all the ways that technology can help us. We see AI really increasing, and the usage and all of the ways that it can help us. You know, that was really growing. And then in September, right after Labor Day, Pluto had been in Aquarius. We're feeling like we're into the new things are happening, fresh starts, and then it slides back into Capricorn. And so I don't know if you've noticed since September that some of the same themes from 2000, 2008, 2009, coming back up again. I have, even in my personal life, like I have seen how some of that, and some of that's just internal, right? It's been within my own sovereignty, my own leadership, my own conversation with myself about how I want to handle things, like power. That's a big word to think about on the internal way, but like how you want to take charge and take control of your life, right? Like what ways are you willing to do that or wanting to do that? And I took on a new work role, and I'm doing some teaching, and I really kind of bit off more than I could chew. I'm managing my way through it, but I have to stay very disciplined and very structured in order to get all the grading done, to get all the lesson plans made, you know, to really stay on top of my game. And I'm noticing that, like, I've had to work so hard since Pluto went back into Capricorn. Well, then now, as we edge on, so Pluto's been rolling backwards. Well, that's an illusion, but the energy feels like it's going backwards, and it feels very internal, and we're not sure maybe which direction we're going, and we're just doing things like we've always done it. And now all of a sudden, Pluto here on the 11th, Friday the 11th, is going to start to shift. Now, he's stationary. Pluto moves very slow. It takes over 200 years for him to get all the way around the zodiac sign. So nobody lives long enough to be able to see Pluto in all the signs. So this is the last time we'll see Pluto in Capricorn. So whatever changes, good, bad, indifferent, ugly, that stuff is going away as Pluto continues to progress toward Aquarius. And so he's going direct here October 11th. Now it's going to take until November 17th before he gets back to Aquarius, but he is progressing. And so here, why I'm telling you all this, here's what happens. Pluto is at 29 degrees. That's considered an anaretic degree. That's the last degree in that sign. That's a culmination point of all that Pluto and Capricorn energy. Whatever it has meant for you since 2008, 2009, when Pluto first went into Capricorn, it is coming to a culmination. And it may be something more internal about how you take charge in your life. But you're going to see kind of a decision point, a choice point. When any planet is at 29 degrees, it's like being on a diving board. Ann Ortley gave me, the astrologer Ann, she's in New York, she gave me that analogy listening to her forecast, so I want to give her credit for it. But like being on a diving board, and we are just standing there. And then the question is, are you going to jump? So I ask you that, friend. Are you going to jump? And maybe you're not sure yet. Maybe you need to think about it some more. But you are coming up on a decision point. So I want you to think about that, from doing things the old way as we move into the new Aquarian way. And you can Google Aquarius. You can come up with many themes. It's an air sign, so very cerebral thinking. Most Aquariuses I know are really disciplined thinkers. They're smart as a whip. They can come up with a dozen different ways to do something. But you know what? Before they talk about it, they vet all of those dozen different ways to do something. So sometimes it can be hard for them to make a move. Because that is fixed energy, right? So Aquarius is a fixed air sign, and so it holds on to those thoughts, and whenever it decides it's going to move forward, it's very concentrated, it's very informed. I know a double Aquarius, and she is in the medical field, and so she will check all of her references before she will give any kind of recommendation. She will go through all the medical journals. You know, she's very thorough. That's a good word for Aquarius. And Aquarius is not afraid of new ideas and learning something new, or learning a new direction, a new way. They embrace the technology. So many Aquarians have kind of techie energy about them. So you're going to notice more online groups, more online interactions, and more AI usage. All of that's going to become more and more a part of our day in ways that we never even thought about before, as Pluto continues into Aquarius. And it's also the energy of the collective. So think about the hippies, all the little grassroots gatherings. You know, people are going to want to gather as we get, you know, more sterile in a way. We're doing more stuff online. You know, I've taken jobs that are completely online now. You don't interact with anybody, and we miss that. We want to like meet the people again. And, you know, Aquarian energy is, let's gather, let's take care of all of the people. What can we do that's best for everybody? How can we support the whole group and not just one person? What's best for the greater good? So there are a few Aquarian themes, and, you know, we're really going to be in that Aquarian energy, like I said, November 17th, right before Thanksgiving. So I just want you to watch and notice the shift. So that's the big thing of the week. That's why I started out telling you about this, because Pluto going direct is just, that is really the cheese of the week. Now, you're not going to feel it all just this week. It's not just going to be on Friday. Pluto's not even moving yet. But you're going to notice that mood shift over the coming week. And I want you to look for that mood shift. So some keywords, I'm looking through my notes here. Transformation, power, deep-rooted changes. Pluto is the planet of rebirth, of life and death, of transformation. Let's see, what else can I tell you? So the inner transformation, we're feeling this inner work when Pluto's been retrograde. It's coming out now. It's going to be more of an outer expression of things that we're feeling on the inside. And you're going to see things start to manifest. You're going to see plans start to go in place. You know, there's going to be visible changes and breakthroughs, and hopefully a sense of empowerment. That just makes my heart sing when we are empowered to live the life that we want to live. Truths are also going to be revealed. You may or may not have noticed over the past month or so that secrets have been coming out. You know, things have been coming out of the closet. And as we're headed into Scorpio season, we've got Venus in Scorpio. And also this week, I believe it's Mercury we've got going into Scorpio. And, you know, Scorpio's going to dig in. They're going to find out what the secrets are. So be looking for that too, the big reveals, finding out things that we didn't know before, and that's both out in the news and the collective, but also in your life as well. So Pluto goes direct on Friday, and then on Sunday, we have, Sunday, October 13th, we have Mercury is going to square Pluto. So Mercury is our planet of communication. It's how we talk, it's our writing, it's texting. And a square is a 90-degree angle. It's rough. It's a trigger point. And so if Pluto is about life, death, transformation, and Mercury comes in, it means there's going to be some serious conversations, and it could get ugly. Sharp tongue, sharp words have an additional punch. Lots of power in our words at this time. So if you have a message you need to get across and you need to make sure they hear you, here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it's going to be a great time for you to speak up, to stand up for yourself and assert yourself. But you have to remember, when Mercury squares Pluto, it can get ugly. We can get down and dirty. So you have to have some self-control. And so you just have to think about, okay, how is that going to be received? And if you're not ready to speak it to it and say it, you need to just keep your mouth shut. If you're like me, I have an Aries moon and I have a temper, and it can just all pop out of me. And, you know, this will be a time where my self-control is like ironclad. I will be paying attention to Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of this week, so Mercury square Pluto doesn't catch me, blindside me, you know. So before I go any further, I want to go back and talk about the moons. So I had that in the top of my notes here in front of me. I think you can notice the astrology. You can really feel this astrology at work when you follow the moon cycle. You can get a little moon tracker and put it on your cell phone, and it will tell you what sign the moon is in. And the moon switches signs every 2.5 days. And the moon signifies our emotional body. So you can kind of tell, and especially if you know other people in your life, your important people's moons, you're going to know if it's a good time for them or not, just based on the compatibility between the elements. And when I say elements, I'm talking about fire and water and earth and air, okay? My moon being Aries is a fire moon. My moon is compatible with an air moon or another fire moon. Right? Okay. So if I am confronted with a water moon, now that may be somebody I'm too fiery for. I might make them cry. I might make them say something mean and it hurt their feelings, and then they never say it. And then I won't even know that it happened, because fire moons aren't really paying attention. They're in their own little world. And that happens, friends. So fire is compatible with air. Water is compatible with earth. So water and earth can grow things together. Notice that. Look at the moons of your friends and family, and you'll see those water moons, they get along with those earth moons, and those air moons get along with the fire moons. And when you cross them up, sometimes there can be problems. But having said that, how do you make fire and water come together? Well, think about a nice cup of tea. I'm drinking my tea right now. If you have hot water, okay, and you're going to put that heat with that water, you got to get it just to the right temperature so that it makes the tea come out and it tastes good, right? So you just have to find just the right temperature. So it's not too much heat, it's not too much water. It's got to get balanced. It's got to get just right. Very important for this season, because we're in Libra season. All about balance, all about partnerships, all about getting along. So this week we have, on Thursday, the moon is in Capricorn. You may or may not see this. I'm recording on Thursday, so it'll be Thursday night before this airs. Notice all the work you got done on Wednesday and Thursday. Everybody I know is just working, busy, getting lots of things done. It's either that or you have procrastinated so much about getting the things done you can't even get out of bed and deal with it. It's kind of one or two ways when the moon is in Cap. Now, over the weekend, so on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the moon moves to the next sign, which is Aquarius. So that mimics what I was just talking about with Pluto, Capricorn shifting to Aquarius. That gives us a little hint of the future, a new way of seeing things. You might notice some new app that you want to pick up on your phone. Notice how technology comes in and strikes you. Maybe we learn something new about, weather prediction and radar's thinking about these hurricanes and how can we help people to get evacuated. And so I don't know, but technology is going to be coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And you may be a little slower to make a move because you're being very thoughtful and thorough and really vetting any change that you're going to make. But that's all a part of this shift into the future. And you may be having lots of conversations about it. Aquarius is an air sign, likes to talk about it, likes to think it through, likes to bat it back and forth again and again and again. So just notice that coming up over the weekend, an air sign. And then Sunday, Eastern time, around 4 o'clock, we have the moon moves into the next sign, the 12th sign, which is Pisces. And that'll be there until Tuesday. So Sunday evening, all day Monday, Tuesday until about 5:30. Now, I would say this Pisces moon is going to be the best moon of the week. Why? Pisces is water, but Pisces is also peaceful, easy, flowing, creative, compassionate, heartfelt. These are the sweetest people. So easy to be around. Now, unless you cross them, and then in that case, they can become vindictive and manipulative and underhanded, but we don't need to talk about that. What we need to talk about is that this is good flowing energy, especially if you're compatible with water. So if you're a water or earth sign, that's great. If you're air, or if you are fire, you're going to have to work a little bit harder. But you know what you can do to ignite that for yourself is play music, watch a movie, interact with art in some kind of way. So whether it is a play, it's a podcast, it's a Netflix series, you just like listening to the radio, get out your Sirius XM and pick a good PlayStation. That music is going to help transform you into that flowing kind of vibe. A very creative time. If you're working on a creative project, notice how you have the flow Sunday night into Tuesday. Okay, so then Tuesday evening through Thursday, so that's Tuesday about 5:30 Eastern, Wednesday into Thursday, we shift to an Aries moon, my moon. Very different, very different. So Aries moon is quick and fast, wants to get things done, wants to start new things, initiate new projects. Let's go. I have no patience. Hurry up. I'm hot-tempered. We got to get the thing done. Kind of like that. It's going to bring a lot of energy and a lot of chi into your physical body. And if you're able to move fast that way and just like go, 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 it's going to work very well for you. Okay, if you are air, if you are fire, that Aries moon is going to light you up. But if you are water, if you are earth, that Aries moon could just piss you off. So I just want you to notice. And if you're starting to feel frustrated, if this feeling like I have no patience left and I am ready to take it out on somebody, you need to get physical. You need to go out on a walk. You need to go for a run. You need to get some energy out of your body when we have an Aries moon. So I want you to think about that Tuesday through Thursday next week. If you're feeling a little tempersome, rather than say the thing you'd rather not say, go do some exercise, go take a fitness class. If you're around a pool, go for a swim. Cool yourself down. Cool your jets. That's the best thing for Aries moon. So hopefully that helps you get through the week. Like I said, Pisces is the best moon for the week, and that is Sunday evening through Tuesday. So please notice that, because when you can feel the astrology, all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, this is so helpful. It's like wearing, my raincoat, rain hat, and I have my umbrella, and I'm prepared for whatever energy is coming my way. So we talked about Pluto Direct. On Friday, we talked about Sunday, Mercury square Pluto. Oh, and also on Sunday, Mercury moves into Scorpio, which adds another layer, which is part of the reason why Mercury is squaring Pluto. So Mercury moves into Scorpio along with Venus. So Mercury and Venus are tracking together, right? Communication is going to become strategic, possibly manipulative, definitely deep, intense, possibly dark. The person is getting to the heart of the matter, and that person might be you. There is something you are digging at. You almost think about it as gross as it is. My dog has like a cyst on his back and has been taking antibiotics, but it's almost like a big zit and stuff comes out of it, and we've been cleaning it, and it's so gross. That's Mercury in Scorpio. Anything in Scorpio. You are squeezing out the gunk and you are getting things cleaned out. Thorough communication. Also, follow your gut instinct. If something seems not right, if something seems not safe, you believe somebody's not telling the truth, you got it. Your intuition is on. So they are probably lying or being disingenuous. Now, that's not always the case. I'm just telling you, follow your gut. It's so important. Scorpio energy is helping you to discern and have discernment, and so trust yourself when Mercury and other planets are in Scorpio, really all of Scorpio season. In Scorpio, taboo themes can come up. Think in the old days they called it sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Yeah, all of that stuff. So just notice what different things may be deeper and darker than maybe what you've been accustomed to. This is also, think about scary movie season, right? When we're watching things that make us afraid, and I think about Friday the 13th and the Halloween movies and all that scary stuff, kind of just deep, dark, kind of creepy. Some of that kind of stuff can come up. We're getting to the bottom of things. Also, like I said with, my dog and that cyst, we're cleaning out the swamp, we're cleaning out the gunk, and we are clearing the air. So, with that Mercury energy, where do you need to clear the air? Where do you need to tell somebody just like it is? Tell them your feelings, tell them your thoughts. When Mercury is in Scorpio, you're getting that junk out. So it's time to get stuff out in the open. Maybe you have to start an argument. Maybe that's, Mercury square Pluto. You have to get something going in order to clear the air, and that can happen. It's just knowing that it's coming. And maybe you've been holding on to something and you're like a little tea kettle and you've just been bubbling on the inside, and then you are about to blow, and just know it's coming. I'm going to have to clean house here pretty soon with the people around me. And prepare yourself so you say what you need to say and speak in your truth. So, but I have some supportive energy to help you along with that. That very same day, as if we don't have enough going on Sunday, so I would pick the day before and after, and maybe even 2 days before and after. We also have the Sun and Jupiter in a positive aspect. It's called a trine. They are working together. They are not necessarily standing together, but they are working together. And they are trying to keep things nice and pleasant and peaceful with that Libra Sun. We're partners. We're bosom buddies. We're getting along. We're finding our balance. We're finding our way. Things are a little sugar-coated, and you may have to look behind the words to see what's really happening there. Somebody may be trying to make something sound a little bit too good to be true or better than what it really is. Alternately, with this energy, it may be encouraging you to take a leap of faith. You may notice that you feel more confident and more self-assured. You're feeling good when that Sun is trining Jupiter. It is really a positive, uplifting time. Jupiter helps to make us all optimists. So for those few days, you may feel like everything's going to work out. I don't know how it's going to work out, but it's going to work out. And I have Jupiter as my ruling planet. It rules my ascendant, so that's a good thing to know. What is your ruling planet? And it always assures me that everything's going to work out. So I'm going to be in my wheelhouse here, feeling good about the future, feeling confident, So we're going to be looking to collaborate. We're going to be looking to keep the peace while still trying to air our grievances, right? The way that I think about this Jupiter trine the sun is it is going to offer a little more eloquence. It's going to give an elegance to this conversation, to this conflict, to this problem. You're going to find a way to make it sound good, to help them to hear it in the best light, in the most beautiful way, in a structure or container that has all the bad feelings, has all the hurt, has all the difficult communication that might be coming up, but with an elegance around it, like, we can overcome this. Let's look at the bigger picture. Let's look how we can make it better. See, when we get it all done, everybody's going to feel better. So I think Jupiter and the sun are working together to help with what could be perceived as some negative stuff happening, or negative words with Mercury at work there and Scorpio digging into the wound, and it's maybe hard and hurtful and tough words happen. The sun and Jupiter are going to be there to support you. So I feel like we're going to get through to the other side, and we're going to be better for it. So hopefully that lends us a helping hand. And then on Monday, October 14th, I have two more aspects to talk about that are big in the week. One is the sun and Mars are in a little bit of an argument. So Mars has lots of energy. Mars has lots of chi, just like I was telling you about that Aries moon. And so that's going to be happening at the same time. The sun is arguing with Mars, and we have an Aries moon, so frustration can happen. Energy can get trapped in the body. You may be feeling cranky or impatient on Monday. You need to move, clean the house, do the lawn work, take a walk, give yourself some time, because people are going to be wound up and more on edge at the first of the week. So plan accordingly, or distance yourself if you don't want to deal with it. Do a body scan, check in. What is a body scan? In yoga, we just sit and close our eyes, and we feel from the top of our head all through our neck and shoulders and arms and trunk and legs all the way down to our feet. And sometimes we just do that and breathe. So if you can do a body scan and breathe before you attack somebody verbally, that would be in your best interest. Try to not let that crankiness that we feel, but I promise you, if you get active, it's going to help you work through that little argument. And then another interesting thing, on Monday, we have Venus and Uranus in an argument. So anytime Uranus is around, that is like quick, fast changes, redirections, unexpected events. Well, he's opposite in the sky from Venus, and Venus is who we love and what we love. So we may be having a plan of things we want to do, setting up our day. Monday is Columbus Day, and some of us are off of school and off of work, and we may have it all lined out of what we want to do on Monday, and then Uranus comes in and just blows it out of the water and says, nope, you're going to do something different today. Take it in stride. So your day may be unrailed or derailed on Monday. Doesn't have to be in a big way. Just may mean there's a traffic jam on your way out of town, and or the park is closed that you were going to go have a picnic at. So just be watching where Venus opposes Uranus, and also it may initiate some change, something you've been thinking about you want to do that's a little different. Maybe you want to go get a new tattoo. Maybe you want to dye your hair purple. You are going to be ready to stand out like a peacock in a different way, fanning your little feathers, however that shows up for you in your life. I would say, go ahead and go for it. Even if it's just in a tiny, small way. Do something temporary. If you can't get a real tattoo, get a henna tattoo. Get it put on your hand. If you don't want to get your hair dyed for real, go to Walmart and buy a little kit and just put some in the strands at the bottom of your hair. Dip your toe in to that feeling that you have that you want to step out in a new way. And that is a good way to work with the energy at the first of the week. And then last thing is on Tuesday, October 15th, we have Venus and Neptune flowing together, dreaming together, seeing the best in others, painting things in a better light than they are. So this is like romantic energy, lovey-dovey. Everybody's getting along. It's almost sweetest day. You know, illusions. We paint things in a better light, you know, than what they actually are. Delusions. You know, we are really deluding ourselves, thinking, oh, we talked to this person one time and now we're dating. Might not be the case. There is going to be a lack of clarity. It could be that things are foggy. You're unsure. So Tuesday, in my opinion, would not be a day to make financial decisions or any hard and fast decisions. I would try to wait because we are more idealistic and not quite as practical. It's foggy. We can't see. Have you ever been camping out in the fog before? I mean, you can't see in front of your face. So that's the low side of Venus and Neptune. The high side of Venus and Neptune is things are highly creative. You are going to be so imaginative. You are going to have new ideas for creative projects. You're going to be creative in all the ways. It could just be the way you organize. It could be how you get the spice rack in the cupboard, how you fold your towels, but maybe you're a nurse or a medical worker. It could be the way you handle the patients, and you go here and there and here and there, and all of a sudden everybody's taken care of and you've got all the ducks in a row. So in whatever ways that you are doing things, it can become kind of an art. You know, you feel the flow. Things are just working. They're flowing. I call Venus and Neptune together, a Venus-Neptune trine, is the beautiful mind energy. All of a sudden, you know, you can just see, if you've seen that movie, it's just, they've got all the equations up on the board and they can see the flow of all of it. It doesn't make sense to anybody else, but it makes sense to you. Okay, you're just gonna see the bigger picture all of a sudden in this dreamy, disjointed way that only you can see it. So my advice to you is write it down. Because if you are daydreaming, you are actually really dreaming, and you get up in the morning, you're like, Eureka, I know how to fix this problem. And you saw it all in your dream and it all made sense, right? And then you go to do it the next day and you're like, how did A go to B, go to C? Like, none of this makes sense. It's all jumbled up. I don't get it. So you got to write it down, because when the clouds part, you may not be able to make those same connections that you were when you were dreaming. So make a list of steps, you know, do a little checklist, scribble it down, put it in your notes in your phone. When those downloads come through, and downloads are just simply good ideas, we don't know where they come from. It just feels like they drop out of the sky and into our brain, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's the thing. That's the one. That's the idea. So it can go one of those two ways, or maybe it goes both ways. Maybe you're a little foggy, but then you have this really good intuition and it helps you to be creative. And that's on Tuesday. And like I said, give yourself a day or two on each side of the transit. So that'll really be, you know, through late weekend on Sunday until we meet again on Thursday. So that's the week. That's a lot. Huh? Would you like to have some horoscopes now? So the horoscopes this week, I really wanted you to lean into this energy of Pluto and feeling Pluto going direct. So this may be a horoscope that you're just getting a sense of, but you may not really feel for a week or two. I want you to just lean into it and notice if this shows up for you in this way. So Aries, Pluto going direct happens in your 10th house. You're like, what's the 10th house, Jen? It is your house of career, public image, your work. So you're going to start to feel little stirrings there. How can you transform your job? How can you transform your role? You know, how do you perceive the importance of what you do in your world of work? So you could feel drawn to be making some changes in your professional life or challenging some old power dynamic, asserting your influence a little bit more. You're going to be feeling more confident, Aries, and especially with that moon at the first of the week being in your sign, it is your time to shine. So I want you to embrace the change, and all of a sudden you're going to find yourself being more authentic, more true to your own style of leadership, and it's going to feel good. But it might be a little tough at first, Aries, but you've got the juice to get up and going and moving, so stand in your power. Aries. Next is Taurus. Taurus, my friends, Pluto is coming to your 9th house. So I'm telling you this because you can look up more about it if you want. Pluto has been in your 9th house, actually transforming you, but he has been in retrograde and now is going to go direct. And he's highlighting more of a public or external manifestation of your belief systems, of any educational pursuits or higher learning you've been thinking about or are doing, spiritual explorations, and possibly some form of travel. So belief systems are up for grabs, Taurus, and some old beliefs may dissolve. You're going to let go of some old ideas to make room for some new ideas, some new perspectives. And all of a sudden, you're going to get more of a worldview. So maybe you've been a little rigid about how you think about life. Taurus is a fixed sign, and all of a sudden, things start to open up and you are more receptive. You can see more viewpoints, and it is going to allow you to expand not only in your thoughts, in your spiritual life, but, in your wisdom and how you can lead and guide others. So it could be the student becomes the teacher. That can happen with this kind of 9th house energy. So Taurus, I want you to notice that shift. You've been learning. Where are you going to become a teacher? I think that's really going to stand out for you in the coming weeks. Next, we have Gemini. Gemini, Pluto has been working on your 8th house. This is encouraging you to dive deep into your emotional and financial dependencies, places where you have shared resources or codependencies on other people or debts. It's also a part of your psychological situation too. So there may be some transformations there. You need to reevaluate who and what you rely on, those shared resources, and that can be materially, but it can also be emotionally. And it's time to let go of those things you don't need anymore. Maybe you used to depend on somebody in a way, you were dependent upon them or on a certain thing. It could be even a habit. It could be like smoking. You were a smoker and all of a sudden you say, you know what, it's time for me to give that up. I want to release that. It doesn't do anything for me anymore, and it's time to let it go. Okay, so you're going to be really looking at all the 8th house themes. This is the house of Scorpio now. These can be some deep, dark topics. There can be some taboo stuff in there. I said smoking, but it could be stronger than that. And it is time to let go of some old thing so you can make way for new goodness, Gemini. You can do it. You can let go of that thing. You can overcome addictions. You can overcome, these codependent relationships that you don't need anymore. I want you to watch where that shows up for you and see if you can gather all your wits about yourself. You are so smart. And see if you can figure out how to move forward into the new. It's time to move into the new, Gemini. And Jupiter is in your sign. Even though he's in a little retrograde, he's going to come back forward. And by February, it's going to be your time to shine again. Cancer. Cancer, Pluto is coming into your 7th house of relationships. So every kind of relationship, personal, professional, parental, your children relationships, your co-workers, whoever. Pluto is changing the way you do relationships, okay? And there are deep transformations in partnerships. It's time to let go of some people so we can make way for some new people. Maybe you have been making things okay for other people that you shouldn't be making things okay for, Cancer. Mars is in this sign right now, and he is helping you to clean house and get rid of some stuff. Maybe all of a sudden you have this like zest for things. You are just untamed. You're ready to go. You're ready to make changes. You're ready to get things done. And some of those people in your life, Cancer, are not wanting to move with you. Well, guess what? They get to stay back there because you're going up here. That's how this energy is going to work. It's time for you to move away from some partnerships or transform them and say, look, we're doing this now. We're not doing that anymore. And if you're going to be with me, we got to go this way together. So be the leader, be authentic, do what feels best for you, and make it clear in the partnerships. That's where these difficult conversations may come in, Cancer, because you may have to help them understand, like, these are your boundaries. This is what you are and are not willing to accept and tolerate anymore. So be open to that evolution. Be open to that change. It can be hard, but all in all, it's going to make your relationships much better and much stronger. And by the time we get through this little patch and get into toward the end of the year, you're going to be so glad that you did. So have a good week, but notice this going over the next few weeks, Cancer. Leo, we are focused, Pluto is focused on your 6th house, your health, your daily routines, your work life. And when I say work, not so much career. I mean, it can be, but it's more about like the things you do every day, your chop wood, carry water type of things, as well as, you know, health in relation to illness. We want to keep you well. So I don't know how Pluto has been impacting you, but it's signaling this need. You are on the diving board about something that you need to take care of your well-being. You need to do self-care. You are being asked to make significant changes in your daily environment, in your routines, getting rid of unhealthy habits and embracing a more empowering lifestyle, Leo, both physically and mentally, because this helps you to shine more. You are ruled by the sun, and you have got to let go of this old baggage to make way for the shiny new thing that you like to be. That peacock energy, that is all Leo. So if you haven't been feeling shiny and new and seen in that way, Leo, it is time for you to focus on your health. You're going to have to get quiet a little bit. You're going to have to get still. You're going to have a little heart-to-heart with yourself, Leo, and say, this is in my best interest. And if that means you need to take new vitamins, you need to go for a visit at the doctor, you need to get on the treadmill more. I don't know what the thing is, but something related to daily routines, your work life, and your health is up for review right now for Leo. So good luck and let us know. I would be interested to hear how this happens for you. Virgo, Pluto has been transforming your 5th house. 5th house is the house of children. It's the house of creativity. It's the house of romance, of fun and games, of personal expression. Does any of that sound relevant to you, Virgo? So you are being transformed in this way. So some old pattern having to do with children and youthfulness and creativity is saying it is time for a new direction. We're not going that way anymore. We are now headed into new horizons. And Virgo, you are going to feel like you can't do it. But Virgo, yes, you can. You are going to hold your ground. You're going to stand your ground. And you're going to get real honest with yourself about what your needs are, like romance-wise and fun-wise, because Virgo does like to have fun, but their version of fun may be a little different than other people's versions of fun. So old creative blocks are going to start to move out of the way, and it's going to help you to see, how do I bring more fun, more joy, more youthfulness into my life? So things that take away from that, I want you to throw them in the trash, Virgo, and don't think about them again. And the things that make you feel good, I want you to invite more of that. Even if it's not perfect, even if it's not just right, there's never a right time, but go ahead, ask for it. Do the things that make you feel good. And then you're going to notice how it changes your whole outlook about things and how all of a sudden you feel more refreshed and more youthful yourself. It's like the Benjamin Button technique. We're getting rid of the old so we can bring in the new, and that is cleansing. And I know, Virgo, you like cleansing. I know you like to be clean and you like to remove impurities. So let's get rid of that old stuff, that old storyline, so we can bring in the new one. Libra, Pluto has been in your 4th house, transforming your family, your home, your foundations, your roots, your ancestry, however that's speaking to you. So deep emotional shifts may be coming up, urging you to redefine your sense of security in the places that you nest, in the places that you call home. It may be time to let go of old family dynamics, patterns in your domestic life, ways that you interact with family, maybe people over talking you or being disrespectful. You are creating a space for something new and beautiful with this Pluto shift. You are ready to go into Aquarius. It is very compatible with you, Libra. Aquarius is an air sign, so you want Pluto in Aquarius. You felt it earlier this year. I mean, you were feeling like you were on a roll. And then all of a sudden, when Jupiter went retrograde last week, you may have felt like, Libra, that the air was just being let out of your sails. Don't worry, it's going to come back. It's going to come back November 17th, and it is time to really be thinking about those roots and foundations and how you want your day-to-day life and your home life to be. And then you're not going to settle for anything but that. You are going to make it that. You are going to create that equilibrium that you seek. So notice where that's coming through for you, but that's what Pluto's working on for you, Libra. Scorpio, Pluto is your ruler, okay? So this direct motion is especially powerful for you. Communication, this is all 3rd house themes. Communication, learning, how you share ideas with others will help to transform you, and you will transform through your words, Scorpio. You're going to feel a shift in how you connect with your immediate environment, pushing you to embrace new ways of thinking and communicating with others, and maybe a little touch of some transportation, something there. Maybe it's time to get a new car, Scorpio. But communication, the way we talk, the way we think, and modes of transportation are the area that Pluto's been focused on. So how has that changed since 2008 into today? I just want you to notice. Sagittarius, Pluto is transforming your 2nd house of values, money, and security. Financial transformation is possible as you reevaluate how you earn money, how you spend money, how you save money, and how you actually value these resources you have. It is a time to deeply assess what's important to you, letting go of bad habits and things that don't serve you. So for instance, if you spend too much money, you need to start doing a budget, Sag. You need to start looking at, how do I waste money, and what could I be putting in the bank? How could I be saving for my future? How could I be working toward a goal and toward that bigger picture? You've got to let go of the old to make way for the new. So if you want a big bank account, Sag, it's time for you to let go of those bad money habits and become a better money manager. And it may mean that you need to get some education. You need to go out and watch the Sue Zorman videos. You know, there are all kinds of little programs that can help you learn how to handle your money better. But Pluto is definitely shifting things. I want you to think back to 2008 and how your relationship with valuables, possessions, and your money has changed, and you're at this pivotal new place now to where you can do things different. So make a good choice, Sag. I know you can do it. Capricorn. Capricorn has been in your sign. So Pluto's been in Capricorn since 2008, and as it goes direct, you are being asked to completely transform. You are shedding an old skin like a snake. You are letting go of old identities, and it is time to step into your Capricorn power. Use this time to let go of outdated perceptions that you have of yourself, expectations of others, how they think you're supposed to be, and I want you to step in the light as a brand new person. You are letting go of the old you, making room for the new you to come in, Capricorn, and it really is a good time for you. It's the spotlight is on you, and it is time for you to be authentic, to be your real self. So in the ways that you do that, first house energy, that can be changing up your look. It can be changing up how you respond to difficult conversations or situations, like some of this argumentative energy this week. Maybe you don't engage for once. Maybe you don't involve yourself. Maybe you take the higher road now. You don't want to do those sorts of things. So I don't know how this is going to show up for you, but be looking at those first house themes, because I think you're going to find that that could be the case. Aquarius. Aquarius, this Pluto's been working on your 12th house. And 12th house can be described as our attic space. It's that place inside of our psyche that we don't want anybody messing with or touching with. And it is like raw, and it is vulnerable, and it's a place that we go to when we are quiet and solitary. Nobody else really sees it. And Pluto's been working on us there for a long time. Aquarius, saying to you, you are good enough. Maybe you have had an old storyline, something bad's happened, and life has been rough, and you kind of have been down. You're coming up and out of that, and you've been feeling it this year. You've been feeling better. This is a powerful time for releasing old stories, old subconscious patterns, and embracing a new form of healing. You may feel drawn to explore new spiritual practices, Aquarius, or psychological work, or you're going to go see a therapist or a counselor, or maybe you've started to read books that have to do with overcoming, psychological issues or anxiety or whatever it is. Maybe you're going into a self-discovery process, but you are transforming from an inner level, and it's coming into an outer way now. It's going to be seen by the people around you that you really do feel like you're ready to step into your power. You see who you are, and you're okay with that. Maybe a long time ago you weren't okay with that, but you're okay with that now, Aquarius. You are fine just the way you are. You have all the power inside of you to do everything that you need to do in this life, and you need to feel good about that and feel positive and feel uplifted. And I hope that Jupiter energy this week gives you a little lift, and then you need to find places where you do feel positive and uplifted. Pluto being in your sign, you're going to continue this transformation process, but it's for your greater good. It's for you to evolve and to become you 2.0. So I hope you feel that. I hope you see that. And, I just want to encourage you to keep working on yourself, keep asking the questions. And even if you have to go, into the house for a month and keep to yourself and do some soul searching and listening to music, and you have a few days where you're on the couch watching Netflix, you go ahead and do that so that you have the time to just rest your mind, rest your heart, your soul, and just be able to come to terms with, you're okay. You're going to be okay. And that's what I believe, Aquarius. So good luck with that, and let us know how it goes. I'd love to hear your comments. Pisces, last but not least, Pluto is coming into your social circles, your 11th house, which is also the house, Pisces, of your hopes, wishes, and dreams, everything you dream about for the future. So Pluto coming direct is at that 29th degree, saying your friendships, your groups, your networks are undergoing transformations, and you are realigning with the right people. So Pisces has a tendency to never have boundaries and be able to go whichever way the wind blows just to please people. This is saying, Pluto is saying, you are done people pleasing, Pisces. You are going to let go of those old groups and you're going to realign with the people who resonate with you, with your soul, people that are on the same path as you. So you need to let go of those old connections and say, bye-bye, I don't need that anymore. And let yourself come to groups that support you, where it's reciprocal, where it feels good, Pisces, where these people are talking your talk and jamming your jam. So notice that where when I say groups, it can be a fitness group, it can be a meditation group, it can be some online group. You're on a Facebook group and you just really like the topics they're talking about. But these over here, you're like, oh, I'm so tired of hearing that storyline. Delete them. Get rid of them. You don't need them anymore. You need to go the direction of your heart's path. And you have that deep intuition, Pisces. That energy is coming to you this week. Your moon is this week. So I want you to lean into that and really get a sense of, where am I headed into the future? Because you are kind of the mystic of the whole zodiac. You get those downloads. You can really have that gut instinct, that intuition about what is the best way to go. So when we're talking about aligning ourselves with others, pick out the best way to go and get rid of all the rest. And that, my friends, is all 12 of the signs. So we have been through, I have talked a lot, a whole hour. The week of October 10th through 16th, all the energy, all the moons, all the astrology for the 12 signs, and this shift as Pluto is at the 29th degree of Capricorn, as we're getting ready to go to Aquarius in November. So we got a clean house now, so we're ready to take on what's next. So I hope you have a great week. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time. Please reach out, astrocollege.org or magicallifeastrology.com. Have a great day. Take care, friends. Mwah.